Hi, and we're back. So Dan was just making an excellent point about how to go from building to building here at Suffolk, you don't need to take the train. And that's another frequently asked question that I get when students are completing their housing preferences form. They will ask me, which dormitory, which residence hall is the closest to the rest of the campus? And all of the residence halls are within I would say top 4 minute walk to the place where you're going to have your class or to the administrative buildings. So there's really no need to worry about you having a very long commute to and from class. And that's another reason why living in the residence halls is just excellent. A lot of students will ask me, and international parents will ask me about the safety of the neighborhood. Suffolk is located in Boston's Beacon Hill neighborhood, which is considered one of the safest areas of Boston. And so I can say, as a young woman walking around the campus, I feel incredibly safe. And that's definitely a very frequently asked question of international students and parents. And I assure you, it's a very safe neighborhood within Boston. And it's also one of the most charming neighborhoods. If you walk, one way throughout campus, you'll get to the Charles River, which is the most beautiful river, which runs right through the middle of Boston and separates Boston from Cambridge. And if you go to the other side, you'll end up near the Boston Harbor. So if you're someone who loves to be by the ocean or be by the river, it's really an incredible place to go for a beautiful run or to go for a walk after your class or in the middle of class. It's really a great place to be, is right here.
And we actually do have a sailing club now where you can participate, and you can actually go on the Charles River and sail a boat, which I've never done, but if you've never done it, maybe try it when you're here at Suffolk. So lots of different opportunity, and it has a lot to do with that location. In addition to being so convenient, when you do an internship, which most likely you will do when you're here at Suffolk, so a practical experience within your career interest, whether that's in the financial industry, working for a State Street Corporation or Goldman Sachs or whatever it might be, that's about a 10-minute walk from here. Those companies, those major companies, are right in the financial district, which is a 10-minute walk from the Beacon Hill neighborhood. Also, the theater district is right next door to where we are. So if you're interested in theater, if you're interested in government, we have the state house where the governor of Massachusetts, as well as the state of Massachusetts legislature, they reside. That's literally in the middle of where our campus is set. And there's plenty of internship opportunities through that building. There's also the City Hall, the Boston City Hall, that you can work for. We have internship programs set up in Washington, D.C. as well. So if you want to work for the federal level, you could do that. So if you want to work at all three levels of government here in the U.S., you do have the option during your time. There's also 4 different courthouses, so if you want to intern for a lawyer, or if you want to intern for a judge, that's all right here, once again, in the neighborhood. So your class could end at 1 o'clock, your internship starts at 1:30. You just have to walk right over there. There's no worry about how to get into the city or how you'll get back. You're already there once again. So very convenient in terms of getting that professional experience while you're at Suffolk.
Dan had mentioned the sailing club, and that's one of Suffolk's many clubs and activities that are offered on campus. I'll talk a little bit about our international clubs that are on campus. If you go to SU Connect, which you can access through the My Suffolk portal once you've submitted your deposit, you can see a full list of all of Suffolk's clubs and organizations. Also, if you go to the International Student Services website at suffolk.edu/ISSO, International Student Services Office, you'll be able to see a full list of our international clubs and organizations. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to meet with the new e-board of the International Student Association, and they're just wonderful, and they're excited to meet all of you. And the clubs and organizations are a great way to connect with current students, with upperclassmen. It's a great way to gain leadership experience while you're here at Suffolk. And you can connect with them before you even get to campus. So throughout the summer, they'll be organizing their club or their organization to get ready for the fall. And it's a great way for you to connect with current students as well.
And there are over 80 clubs and organizations, 80. So there's plenty to choose from. Even if you're not involved in anything right now, and you're looking to do that at college, very easy to get involved. As Susanna said, you've got those organizations and clubs reaching out to you, and that's something we highly recommend in order to get the best experience possible at Suffolk is to get involved. And so whether that's through the sailing club or whether it's through the comedy troupe that we have, comedy group, or if it's through community service, there's something for everyone. And that's something that Suffolk prides itself on, is being able to offer these opportunities. And if we don't have something, being able to start something up, such as, and he used it again, the sailing club, which started this year. So that is something that you'll be able to do throughout your 4 years at Suffolk, and that's going to be the best way to meet people and also to be able to get the most out of your Suffolk group.
One of the most popular clubs for our international students is our Home Away from Home program. And the Home Away from Home program matches international students with American students so that they're able to make friends and experience life at Suffolk together. And it's a really great opportunity for our American students to have a global experience here on the Boston campus. And it's an excellent opportunity for our international students to connect with an American friend, to practice their English if they're not from an English-speaking country, and just to feel more connected with the American experience. It's a really great opportunity, and if you're interested, you can sign up even before you arrive on campus on the International Student Services website, or you can simply send me an email. Again, my name is Susanna Lynch. I'm just slynch@suffolk.edu. I can type it in down below. So I really recommend that program as an excellent opportunity for you to really be fully engaged in the experience of studying in the United States.
And it's about 14% of our students are international here on campus, so that's close to 1,000 students. So you will not be alone at the university. We definitely promote a global experience. A lot of our faculty are from different parts of the world. So you will get the opportunity to interact with American students as well as fellow international students, but once again, from all over the world. So the Americans that you'll encounter here are very interested in learning more about your culture and where you're from, and so you'll find that you'll be embraced amongst the Suffolk community for sure once you start. And another big piece of the Suffolk experience is be able to study overseas, and so about close to 40% of our students go abroad at some point during their 4 years here at the university. We actually have our own campus in Madrid, Spain, where some of you may be interested in starting next year. And that provides the opportunity for any major to be able to combine the Boston experience with an experience outside of the United States. So we are definitely big promoters of getting out there and experiencing that. Do you want to add anything to that, Susanna?
I don't think so. I think one of the number one questions I get asked is, I'm already studying abroad, so, maybe I'm not interested in studying abroad, or, because of my major, even though you really can for almost every major study abroad. But I want to really emphasize that you can have this global experience without ever leaving the Boston campus.
Absolutely.
It's really an incredibly engaged campus, a global campus. So whether you're studying abroad or participating in the Home Away from Home program, or spending your first and second year at Suffolk at the Madrid campus, or taking a class with a professor who's not from the U.S., you really can have a global experience no matter where you are at Suffolk.
Actually, a story I just heard a few weeks ago from a professor is he hired 2 Suffolk graduates to actually start up part of his business in India, which is where they're originally from. So they actually got to go back to India and start up a branch of his company in, I believe, New Delhi. So certainly you're able to make these connections through your faculty, through these internship opportunities. And the idea is that when you graduate, you're prepared not only to take on the challenge, but have the knowledge to be able to start something new, or be able to be plugged in within a company and be able to sort of build it from there. So the experience you'll get at Suffolk, both in the classroom as well as outside the classroom, will provide you the knowledge, but also provide you the confidence to become a leader within your field, which is got a lot to do with the class size that you have here at Suffolk, with an average around 20. It's a 13-to-1 faculty-student ratio. So you've got the opportunity to ask questions and be able to develop relationships with your professors. when you're studying here at Suffolk, you may not know what you want to do. Actually, the most popular major for freshmen is undecided. It's about 30% of our students come in without a major. And we provide a curriculum that allows you the flexibility to be able to jump between programs. So if you're thinking business, but at the same time also thinking science, and maybe you're thinking law, you do have the chance to pursue all three if you would like. Once again, there's 60 academic programs that you can major or concentrate in, and then there's close to 100 minor combinations. So the ability to be able to balance two separate disciplines, whether it's a major in business and a minor in Spanish, or a major in government and a minor in philosophy, you can combine programs and be able to develop your own sort of track once you're here at the university. And once again, that comes back to the size of classes, that ability to connect with your advisor, to be able to look at your curriculum and figure out what's best for you. Not what everyone else has done, but what's best for you. And so to provide that choice and the way that curriculum is structured, and to be able to go abroad, to be able to do an internship, and be able to graduate in 4 years is pretty unique.
And you will be able to supplement your academic experience with real-world experience. As an international student, one of the benefits of your F1 status is the ability to do CPT, curricular practical training. And what that means is an academic internship. So it must be related to your course of study, but you will be able to do a paid or unpaid academic internship with approval from your academic advisor and your faculty advisor. And that's a really great opportunity for international students to gain that real world experience. And that's a very frequently asked question that I get, is there's some apprehension by our international students about whether they'll be able to work and gain that real world experience while they're here in the US. They're worried that they won't be able to work while they're here. Another benefit of your F1 status is the ability to stay in the US beyond graduation and complete OPT, which is optional practical training. And that means that you can work in the United States after you graduate. If you're a STEM major, that's another benefit of studying a STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. You get an extension on your OPT of 17 months. So that's a really great opportunity to gain more experience working in the US before you return to your home country. So there's ample opportunity through your curriculum, but then also through these work options. And of course, you can work during the summer on campus or using some of your CPT or OPT depending on what you're studying or where you're working. So I really encourage you to take advantage of those. My office, the Center for International Programs and Services, we provide advising on your immigration status. So if you have any questions from now until after you graduate, our office is here to assist you. Our office is here to help. So a lot of students, the process of arriving in the United States, the process of maintaining legal status in the United States is very overwhelming. And I don't blame them. It's a very complicated process. But I want to assure you, and I want to assure your parents, that there are resources here at Suffolk that are specifically for our international students that are meant to assist you. And so I really encourage you to connect with our office as soon as you can. Just send an email. We're really happy to hear from you, to welcome you, and we're here to answer any of your immigration questions, any of your pre-arrival questions, and any of your questions while you're here at Suffolk, and even after graduation. We did a really great program this year for our international alumni. So our students, our international students who have graduated from Suffolk, welcoming them back to Suffolk and giving them an opportunity to tell their story about their experience as an undergrad or graduate student here at Suffolk, and then completing OPT. And now all of the alumni who came to that program are now sponsored on H-1B, which is permanent work authorization in the United States. So we love connecting with our international students, and I understand that the process can be confusing because of the F1 immigration regulations, and I want to assure you and your parents that our office is here to help, so feel free to call or email anytime.
And that's something across the board too, the different offices that you'll be interacting with at the university, whether it's the registrar office, whether it's through our career development office, or whether it's through the undergraduate admission office, is we are here to help you. So that's what we're here to do. That's our job. So if you have questions, you shouldn't hesitate to contact anyone here. But certainly, as Susanna said, through the International Student Service Office, They are more than willing to speak with you throughout the summer before you even start here at Suffolk. So I would encourage you to definitely utilize the services that are available, for sure.
We have about 15 minutes left, and I would encourage you to just type in your questions if you have any remaining questions for me and Dan. And in the meantime, we'll do a quick review of, if you're admitted, what are your next steps. So if you've been admitted to Suffolk as an undergraduate student, first of all, congratulations. The first step that you want to take is to confirm that you're going to enroll at Suffolk, which means that you need to submit an enrollment deposit. Now, something that we did not mention before is that your enrollment deposit is credited to your tuition. So it's not extra. Once you submit your enrollment deposit, it will credit to your tuition bill, so you will pay that much less on your tuition bill. So the enrollment deposit is $600 if you would like to live in Suffolk's residence halls, and the enrollment deposit is $500 if you plan to commute to Suffolk. So that's the first step that you want to take. The second step that you want to take is you want to make sure that you send in to the Office of Undergraduate Admission all of your immigration documentation. So that means a copy of your passport. If you're currently studying in the United States, you must send in a copy of your current visa, your current I-20. If you're, again, currently studying in the United States on an F-1 visa, you should send in a completed transfer release form. If you're not currently studying in the United States and this is your first time, you will need to submit either a bank statement or a confidential declaration of finances form. Once the Office of Undergraduate Admission has all of your immigration documents, they will mail you by FedEx, so that you can track this document, your I-20. Your I-20 you will take to the local consulate or embassy, and you will use that document to apply for an F-1 student visa. Once you're issued the visa, then you can kind of sit tight for the summer. There are a few more enrollment procedures that you'll need to follow, but for immigration, you are pretty much set.
Once again, we'd encourage you to start that process earlier than later, due to the fact that it can take up to 8 to 10 weeks to process a visa request. So highly encourage you to start that process as soon as possible. That way you don't run into any condition where you don't have enough time in order to get the right paperwork before leaving for the U.S. Certainly with the deposit, as Susanna mentioned, it's going toward your overall tuition bill, and if you're going to live on campus, it would go towards your on-campus housing bill. We do have a second housing deposit that will be due in June, so if you've already deposited in early June, we'll have a second one, and once again, that's also going towards your bill. So in theory, you're paying a little bit now, and it'll be less come July when those bills are available. So if you haven't deposited, definitely keep May 1 in mind. That's the latest you'd want to submit either the on-campus housing deposit, or if it's just an enrollment deposit if you're looking to live off campus. If you wait longer than that, there is a possibility you may run into a housing wait list. Once again, we'll do our best to try to make sure you end up in a placement somewhere, whether it's here on campus or if we have to assist in finding you an apartment, that's also available too through our off-campus housing department.
So there are 3 really important steps that you will need to complete in May. The first one is to check your Suffolk email address. Your Suffolk email address is the primary mode of communication that the university will use throughout your time at Suffolk. Now, the university will email you your Suffolk email address and your password, and they are going to email those credentials, the email address and password, to the email address that you provided on the common application. Now, this is very important and something that can cause some confusion. If you worked with an educational agent, sometimes that agent will put their email address on the common application. And so I encourage you, once you've been admitted, to look at your common application online and make sure that it's your email address, because we're going to send really important email credentials to the email address, whether it be Hotmail or QQ or your Gmail, to that email account that you wrote on the common application. So make sure to check that and make sure that that's an email account that you check regularly. The second step that you need to complete in May is if you're an on-campus student and you want to live in Suffolk's residence halls, you need to complete your housing preferences form, and you will complete that through the My Suffolk portal. And then the third step that you will need to complete, also through the My Suffolk portal, is you will need to pre-register for your classes. Again, that information will be sent to the email address you provided on the Common Application. And so another reason to really make sure that that email address is correct. If it's not correct, simply email the admissions office and we can change it as soon as possible.
Can't emphasize enough the My Suffolk portal and how important it will be throughout your time here at Suffolk. So to get used to that and how to get in and out of the system, that's going to definitely be worth your while. So definitely look at that as soon as possible. If you haven't already, that's a place where you'll definitely be visiting quite often. In the orientation, just to go over that once again, you want to sign up for that as soon as possible as well. If you can make one of the June dates, that's highly encouraged, highly recommended. If not, we do have those August dates, which I believe are going to be posted very soon, if not already.
The August dates are posted on the International Student Services website, which is www.suffolk.edu/ISSO. And if you go there, you can see all of the August orientation dates. So the August orientation date for transfer students is August 27th. And the August orientation dates for new freshmen are August 28 and 29. So that's a 2-day orientation. And that's when you'll meet me and Dan in person.
Absolutely, we'll be here. Looking forward to meeting everyone.
Yeah, we're looking forward to meeting everyone. We have about 5 minutes left. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in so that me and Dan can answer. And
some of the other fun parts of Boston that I forgot to mention, and probably the most fun for me, is the food. I mean, you've got plenty of opportunities to eat on campus. There's virtually a cafe in almost every building here at Suffolk, so if you do have a meal plan, you're able to use that in multiple different sites, whether it's in your residence hall, if it's in our academic buildings, you do have plenty of opportunities to use that. You're never going to have to go across campus in order to use your meal card. If you choose not to do the meal plan, you are able to still use your RAM card, your Suffolk ID card, at many restaurants in the area, as well as the local supermarket to pharmacy. You do have the opportunity to use that card. So it provides, once again, a convenience. And since we're so integrated in the neighborhood, many of the businesses will take that RAM card as official. So
if you're a little bit nervous, a lot of the international students will ask me right when they get here. They want to do their grocery shopping, but they're looking for food that they're more accustomed to in their home country. On the International Student Services webpage, we have created a full list of international grocery stores and restaurants within the Boston area. So for example, if you're coming from Armenia and you're interested in finding an Armenian grocery store, or if you're coming from China and you would like to go to a store that has specifically food that you can find in China, it's all listed on the International Student Services webpage. So I encourage you to look at that, because sometimes it can be a little stressful when you come to the US and you are probably tired from flying, and maybe you just want food that you are used to, which is very understandable. So it's a good